Hey ninjas, last time we looked at one-to-many relationships, we had one team and many players. We used this team ID as the foreign key that linked our player to its team. In this lesson, we're going to add coaches. This will make it multiple one-to-many relationships. We will have one team that has a one-to-many relationship with players and a one-to-many relationship with coaches. Our coach entity is going to have similar attributes to our players. So we're going to have a first name, last name, an age, and then this role instead of position. So the role will be something like head coach, assistant coach, and so on. And we will also have this foreign key down here in order to link the coach to the team. Now let's have a look at the website to see what we can do, and then we'll go into the code and break everything down. So our website will look like this now. Notice that we have added this link of create new coach. Clicking on that link will take us to the creating a new coach page. And here we can do something like Nate Simmons, and let's give him an age of 54. The role can be head coach. And for the team, we are going to select ballers. Remember, we have the different teams that we've created, and they're selected through this drop-down menu. So we'll use ballers and create coach. Now, if we go to our ballers team, we have the players. So I've added this H3 tag here to separate the players from the coaches. We have the players that we've had before, and down here we have Nate Simmons, who is the head coach of the ballers. We can also add coaches to other teams, and we can assign different roles to them. Let's now have a look at our code. On our index.jsp, we need to add this link that takes us to the create new coach page, which will be this new coach JSP. And this looks almost identical to the new player.jsp. We need to make sure that the role here, so this used to be position for the player, here it's role, also has the correct path. And up here in the action, we need to make sure that we have the correct path. So it says coach is new, and the model attribute needs to be coach. In our view team JSP, remember this is the individual team page, we are going to display the players, and then we're going to display the coaches. So the coaches, the setup is very similar again. We're going to iterate through each coach that belongs to the team, and we're going to display the coach's name, age, and role. Our coach service and coach repository will look very similar to what we had with the players, so we won't go into details here. In the coach entity, we have a very similar setup again. We have the first name, last name, age, and then the role. Down here is the foreign key that links the coach to a specific team. And it is the same setup again. So we're using this team ID, and that is going to link us to the team. Also note that down here, this team, this needs to be the same name that we use in our teams entity. So it is mapped by team. Remember, we did that for the players, and we're now doing this for the coaches. Everything else should be pretty much the same. So this is the only new code we need in the team entity. We just have this list of coaches and the one-to-many relationship. In our main controller, this is the new piece. We have the coach's new path, and we have get mapping and post mapping for it. For the get mapping, we need to pass in the different teams that we already have. That is for the drop-down menu. And also this model attribute is very important because this is what sends the data from our form back to our controller. And down here for the post mapping, we have a similar setup again. We have the model attribute. The binding result, again, has to do with validations. We are assuming that everything is going well. So we have, once we get the form data, we use that form data to create a new coach, and then we redirect back to our index page. Let's see it in action one more time. So we have our page here. We'll create a new coach. Let's call this guy Jim Thomas, and we'll give him an age of 37, and he can be a conditioning coach. And he can also work with the ballers, create the coach. We go to ballers and we have Nate Simmons, age 54, head coach. And then we have Jim Thomas, age 37, and he is a conditioning coach.